Hello and welcome to Trucker's World for another video. As you can see, I'm not in the wagon, at home, nicely chilled out, and hope everyone is doing okay out there. Not doing too bad myself. Could do a little bit better, as I've not been offered any Class 1 work this week. Maybe it's to do with that incident. Who knows? Anyway, I wanted to put this video on because I wanted to do a follow-on from the incident video, the second incident video, which I'll come to in a minute. I want to tell you basically what happened after that. You know, nothing too much, but I think it's worth mentioning. Just, you know, the result of it, what happened after the delay, what I learned after it, back at the yard, etc, etc, etc. But first of all, regarding that incident video, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody because I put that video on purely, you know, to express obviously what I was feeling, but also as well to let drivers know, you know, of all different experiences, who's had bumps, knocks, whatsoever, you know, that you do feel pretty bad, and you do, you know, that's all it was. But I had no intention really of getting anybody, you know, kind of sympathising with me, if you know what I mean. You know, putting lots of nice, good comments on there, etc. I didn't do it for that reason at all, but I was really, really quite taken back how many people come up and said, you know, take your time, doing really well, chin up, this kind of stuff. Really, really encouraging comments, and I'm really grateful for that. I really am. You know, I didn't think I'd be too bothered about the comments, but when they came in and I was reading some of them, I thought, wow, that's really nice, you know. And yeah, you know, I know why I kind of had that incident. I know why now, and it is because I was trying to train myself up as quickly as possible. So I was trying to put myself in difficult positions and trying to back in, you know, in the difficult positions, because I wanted to get myself trained up as quickly as I possibly can to get the most of those particular hours when I was reversing. And I now know, obviously, that you just can't do that. And, you know, you need to be going slowly, back and forth, back and forth. And then, you know, when you feel ready in your experience, you'll know when you're ready and you'll be able to start reversing in pretty easily, you know, even in one go, if you will. But I think on that occasion, I'm just trying to make it harder for myself, you're trying to be good, you're trying to do it naturally, and it's just not the right way when you're learning. You know, you've really got to, I think, and it's been said on the comments, take your time, get out, have a look, you know, just make sure you get it right. You know, I think you need to take that extra special care when you first pass, without a doubt. But yeah, I'm really grateful for all the comments. Truly, I am. It's, you know, yeah, thank you very much. It's helped big me up a little bit, and I have forgotten about it. I've moved on a little bit. Normally, I would get Class 1 work with the same company. Now, I do need to obviously message my agency about this. He's not said anything to me about that they've got the ump and you know, they don't want you back there for whatever reason. And he does seem the kind of guy, to be honest, with me, you know. So I will make sure that's on there, but I've not been offered Class 1 work tomorrow, which one of the days which I wanted to do, which is a shame, really. But we'll go from there. So what happened after? Right, well, it was a big knock-on effect, first of all. I got delayed about an hour, I'd say, without a doubt. Sat there for a while in the cab, and basically told me just to pull forward where I was. So I'm kind of like parallel with the fence and the warehouse, where I'd back in at an angle. And he told me switch off the engine and wait, and I wait. The door went down, and I didn't know what was going on. So after a while, about half an hour or so after I did that video, I thought I'll have a little walk in the warehouse, see if they've cleaned anything up. And I went in. There was a little bit of damage to the pallets, you know, boxes of tissues, toilet rolls. Some of the boxes were damaged, and they had a bit of a skip there where some of them had been thrown in. It hadn't been cleared away. So I got back in my cab, and I thought, right, I'll wait a little while, and I waited, and then I thought, right, I'm going to go in, and I'm going to see what's happened, the next procedure. I got in there, next procedure, and there was probably looking like the supervisor. He didn't look very happy at all. You know, he doesn't, from what I've seen of him, he doesn't look happy on the best of times, to be fair. But yeah, I came in there quite humble, you know, and I said, okay, well, what's next procedure? And he had a right face on him, and he you know, he's very short with me and said, well, because of you, we're having to do this, we're having to do that, you know, all this kind of stuff, you know. I said, I had no comeback on that, you know. I had to be humble. I said, I'm really sorry, I do feel bad, you know. I'm sorry. And he said, well, one thing's making a mistake, but well, when someone's shouting at you and you keep reversing back. And I said, well, I didn't hear him that. And I didn't. From where I was, he was in the warehouse, I didn't hear him. I heard him the second time, but I didn't hear him the first time. Anyway, he wasn't happy and he gave me a dirty look, etc, etc, etc. So I waited. And he said, right, next time, you know, we'll try on the next bay, listen to instructions this time, so be it. So what I did went back out to my cab, and I turned all the way around, right back to the beginning, like a big S shape, to start positioning again for the next one. But I got myself in a bit of a wrong position, so I turned the wagon too early to go up to the fence, and I was a little bit out of line, so I was more to the left, and the door was more to the right. And I thought, right, well, I'm not doing this, so I went again the S shape, and again I turned later, and this time I was in a slightly better position. So an hour went by, I'd say at least an hour, before I said, right, you can come back in now. So the gate opened up, and I reversed very carefully this time. Went back a bit, and I thought, right, I'm going to straighten up again. I could see both sides this time. I thought, right, this is okay. I could see him in my driver's mirror, and he was saying a little bit over to the right-hand side. I didn't think it was too much of an issue. I don't think I would have hit anything. But again, I turned the wagon over a little bit, and then went forward a bit again to try and straighten that out, you know. And it went okay. I took my time, and it was fine this time. Did the usual malarkey, load up the wagon. That took a while by the time you've done it all. Driven back, and by this time I was, you know, it was getting quite late. I was reaching 13.5 hours, give or take. And I said, when I went into the yard, I said to one of the forklift truck drivers who came to me, fortunately, I said, look, I haven't got much time left. You know, what's the chance of me getting unloaded within the hour? He said, yeah, we'll get you on. And I asked whether I could go straight on the bay, and he let me go on the bay. These bays are quite tight, as I've said before. The positioning, you know, is not so great in regards to getting your position and reversing back. But on this occasion, one of the guys had told me early on, he's helping me a loads, go forwards, go backwards, go forwards, go backwards. And I did exactly that. And it was a great manoeuvre. Absolutely great manoeuvre. I must have gone forwards and backwards maybe about, I don't know, 4 times maybe, no more than that I would have thought. And it worked well. Every time I was going back, I thought I'll go forward a little bit more, back, you know, forward a little bit more, and back again. If I was too far over to the right, then I don't think you can go to the left. When you're pulling forward going to the left, I think you've got to go to the right, if I'm not confusing. But as I was more over to the left, within the bay, you pull over to the left, and that kind of straightens you up a little bit. So I was dead happy with that. Finished on a good one. Simple as that. I was dead chuffed, dead happy, and I thought, you know what? Forgot about that mistake. I know I can do it. I know I can. It's as simple as that. So I got unloaded, and I finished within 14.5 hours, give or take. So it wasn't too bad in the end, and I did go home quite happy with myself. But again, long shift, isn't it? Long shift, one mistake, 14.5 hours. And that's basically what happened after. I didn't say anything. I was going to message to work to say, yeah, trailer down, everything's fine. But I just get the feeling that, you know, they see you as a number, really, I think, there. And I didn't want to, I don't know, suck up, if you will. So anyway, I've done that. And that's what's happened since. And again, just a quick one. Obviously, I've only been offered Class 2 work tomorrow, not Class 1 with that company. I'm a bit worried, a bit surprised with that. I don't know whether that's normal. I will find out, and I will ask to see whether I'm still on their books or not, as opposed, because obviously that's 2 errors now. So there's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. And if that's the case, then kind of back to square one, even though I've got some experience. But I'll keep start to have a look at other places. And then obviously I don't have the same freedoms as some of the other drivers out there. You know, I've got young kids, we've got no family support, so I can't really just go straight out there knocking on doors, looking for full-time jobs, looking for these hours, that hours. I just can't, you know. So yeah, depending how we're going to go forward, I've got a bit of a plan, but it might take longer than what I would have liked. But there you go. That's the end of this video, part 2 of what happened after the incident. I hope you found it very useful. Again, thank you for all the comments that's come in. I'm going to try and reply to 1 or 2 who's asked questions as and when I can. So I do apologise if I haven't done that now, but I will try throughout the week. Okay, so thanks for watching. Keep on trucking, and I'll see you in the next video.